Have you unexpectedly found yourself single after a long-term marriage? Was your heart broken, your confidence shattered, your security suddenly pulled out from under you? Does it feel like your husband, without cause, turned against you and forgot the marriage you had and maybe even the kids you have together? Do you feel like you'll never be the same, unsure of how you'll ever get over such a deep and painful betrayal to all you hold dear? If this is you, first I just want to say I am so sorry. It's sheer hell to be in this place. I know because it happened to me. I was in what I believe to be a rock-solid marriage, one where we were still making love regularly, talking over coffee every morning and sharing our hopes and dreams for the future, planning trips and designing our next home since the kids were finally out of college. I know what it feels like to be utterly and completely devastated. My husband walked into our home on a Friday night at dinner time while I was cooking dinner for us to tell me he wanted to be single, when in actuality he'd already been in a relationship with someone else for a very long time. If you have a similar story, I just want to say, unless you're a murdering lunatic and you abused your husband with a hot poker, you didn't deserve this. In fact, it's likely you're a good person, probably even kinder than most. It's likely you're a mature woman who loved your husband and treated him well. I know because I've met many of you. You probably felt confident you'd never be one of those couples who ended their marriage. You probably saw yourself growing old with this man. I was there once. I remember sitting at our dining table with my husband as we consoled a longtime friend whose husband had left her for another woman. And his new woman couldn't hold a candle to his wife. I remember feeling so sorry for her. I imagined her all alone in her house now that her kids were grown. I was completely in denial that this could ever happen to me. I don't tell you this to discourage your hope for a healthy, loving, and devoted husband in the future. I'm a hopeless romantic, and I still believe there are good men out there who are faithful. I tell you this because I want to help you to feel better as fast as possible. It's a long haul. There's no quick fix. It's likely the most difficult time of your life, and it's a lonely road. Some days you'll lose your will to live. Some days you'll worry that you're going to lose everything and wonder how you'll survive financially. Some days you won't want to get out of bed. And some days you'll be hopeful that the old him will come back and love you like he once did. Mostly you'll just wonder how and why he could do it, how he could betray you if he was ever who you thought he was. You'll often ask yourself, where did my husband go? Will he ever wake up and realize what we had, how much he lost, how much he sacrificed? Or will he continue to tell himself the story that it was our marriage that made him do it, that he somehow miraculously discovered he wasn't happy in his marriage to you, coincidentally right after getting his head turned by another woman? He'll try to convince you it wasn't working, you weren't happy. I'm here to tell you, you don't have to believe his story. I know it's also likely you're someone who recognizes that relationships take two people and there must have been something you did or didn't do that caused him to stop loving you. The truth is, if there was something wrong with your marriage and you were too quiet about it or he didn't communicate it previously, it was not reason enough for him to betray you and trash your marriage like this. There is no justification for what happened. All justification is to make him feel better. He has to rewrite the story. One day he may or may not wake up, but in the meantime, you need to get the best revenge there is, and that's to heal and move on. To take this major trauma to your security, your family, your home, your body, your mind, and your spirit, and turn it into an opportunity for you to step into your best self ever. To be happier, healthier, more beautiful inside and out, and enjoy more pleasure and nurturing self-care than you ever experienced before. Because you deserve it. You need it. It's a must. There's no other option. You can't let it break you forever. You can't let it make you crawl into a hole and die like you feel like doing. Well, you can do that a little. We have to process our emotions in order to move on. But then you rise up and shine like the radiant light that you are. You're going to feel awful, for sure. You just had your heart torn apart and your world was shattered into a million pieces. This is a real injury, and injuries take time to heal. But you can take steps each day to make sure you heal, and you heal in such a way that will create an opportunity to be even better than you were before. Joseph Campbell's famous for writing, "Everything that's going to come into creation follows the shattering of what was there before it." I believe this to be true. I've been where you are. I know it's brutal. No one really knows unless they've been through it. Being left means death to our bodies. It's hardwired into our brains for safety. That's why it feels so earth-shattering. That's why it's likely you can't sleep or eat, and you're walking around in shock like you just pulled yourself from the wreckage of a total geosport hit by a Mack truck. I know exactly how you feel. I tried whatever I could to stop the excruciating pain I was feeling and to process the loss of a man I deeply loved. I went to 2 therapists at a time. I got all sorts of body treatments, including massage and Qigong healing regularly. I got treated for PTSD. I read all sorts of books, took courses, went to a seminar. I even went to a fortune teller who promised she could help me get out of pain. Needless to say, that didn't work. However, I did discover that there are many things you can do in the moment when you need it most to put that pain down just a little while you heal. One of them was an audio recording I created for myself to listen to whenever I felt myself spiraling down into the dungeon of hell. I call it my Remember Me audio guide. It helped me to remember the truth of who I really am when I needed it most. You can get that recording here. I'll send it straight to your inbox so you can download it onto your phone and listen to it in the moment when you need it most. In the meantime, I wish you well. My desire and intention is for you to get through this, heal as quickly as possible, and live your best life ever. I'll see you soon.